Hi everyone, it's Vishaka here. I'm on the outskirts of Budapest, Hungary at the moment, and the last few days there have been a lot of increased restrictions on the COVID situation. There's been a curfew imposed. There's restrictions on how many persons can gather together. Some schools are being closed, so on and so forth. And so the atmosphere, it had been lightening up, but now it's tightening down again. So there's a lot of mixed responses that I'm seeing. There are some who are very afraid about the COVID situation, and there are others who feel very suffocated. They feel like the government is imposing such a great degree of control, and they find that frightening. I was speaking to one girl a few days ago, and she was expressing this mood of you know fear and feeling that her freedom was being restricted, and the government was trying to control. I've traveled to places like China in the past, and so I've seen that kind of lifestyle. I've spent a few weeks, few months actually, in that kind of environment. So I have some experience. Also, just through the media, we hear about these things. We're in one sense we're privileged because we, relatively speaking, compared to how many people live in the world, we have a great degree of freedom. We have freedom of expression, freedom of movement, etc., etc. So this is like a new experience for us, and really it gives us opportunity to reflect on what is real freedom. And I tried to reassure her, you know, explaining, as we know from our scripture, real freedom is something that comes from within. These are the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. Freedom is not dependent on a particular circumstance. Freedom is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And I think I've mentioned before, it's interesting, the word for freedom in Sanskrit is swadhinata, which means to have control of the self, self-control, self-mastery. So it's a revolutionary idea. We allow cages to be created around us. We allow, actually, what we do, if we allow persons to think that they're controlling us, we're actually empowering them to do so. Freedom is something that comes from within, allows us to feel our own, existence and value independent of what environment and circumstance we are in. So this is part of spiritual culture, to just allow the environment to flow as it's flowing, and no doubt it has its purpose in some way, to allow persons to exert their will, to exert their ego as they wish, without it having any effect over us. So actually there's a whole infinite world, within our own selves, because we have connection with divinity, because we are all children of the Lord, our sweet Lord. We have a connection with the infinite. I had a blood test yesterday, and the doctor, he examined a drop of my blood, and he was showing it under the microscope. And it was a tiny drop of blood he put under the microscope. But there, it was astonishing how much was in that one drop, how much he could find. And he kept zooming in and scrolling, and I was just blown away. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, in one place, he mentioned, if we go to analyze one grain of sand, we will find it is infinite. So what I'm trying to say is, even in this finite, material, limited, temporary world that we're living in, there are infinite multitudes everywhere. There is infinity everywhere. So what to speak of divinity? What to speak about our soul? What to speak about super soul? There is so much. So we must not allow ourselves to be so disturbed by what is happening within the objective world, within the physical world, with this happening or that happening. Shakespeare, right? He has that famous quote, all of life is but a stage. It is like a drama. That is one way we can see things. There is always some drama being played. There's always some ebb and flow. There's always something going on, some drama happening. But it's only that. It's a drama. It's a play. And at the end, what we will take away from it are the lessons we've learned and how much we've connected with our true selves. So, what will be will be. We cannot allow ourselves to become overly disturbed with that. We have to take care of ourselves. And I told my friend the other day, you have a roof over your head, you have food to put on your table, you can take care of yourself. What more do we actually need in life? And we can use the remainder of our energy to discover the true self, to give our attention to our spiritual connection and relationship with divinity. Well, those are my thoughts this morning, and sending all my love and regards to all of my friends and well wishers, and also who are not my well wishers, sending my well wishes and respects and love. Jai Shri Gurudev.